So I want to bring in Sean Spicer, Communications Director for the Republican National Committee. Sean, class warfare, part of the Jobs Bill campaign. Take a listen to New York Senator Chuck Schumer.
The only thing standing in the way between us and this worthy legislation is a small handful of very, very, very wealthy people. Not all wealthy people, because as Joe Biden said, I believe most people who make over $1 million know this is the right thing to do.
All right, Sean, go ahead. Do you want to weigh in on that?
Well, first, 47% of all Americans don't pay federal income tax. The majority of the top 1%, 5%, 10%, if you look at what they pay in taxes, cover the share of most of what of the federal income taxes for most Americans. So there's a point at which you have to ask, what is that's appropriate in this country in terms of what every American is expected to pay?
Hey, Sean, a lot of the GOP candidates are coming out with their economic plans right now, their ideas for jobs, but taxes. Herman Cain's 999 may or may not become 909. Rick Perry's as some sort of flat tax. There have been ideas of fair tax floated. Am I getting the picture right that, at least on the right side, major tax reform is in our very near future?
Well, I think where I come from is I see each one of these candidates putting out a plan that says, how do we move this economy forward? How do we put people back to work? And there may be differences as far as whether it's 999, a flat tax, Governor Romney's 59-point plan, Congresswoman Bachman's got a plan out there, and all the others do as well. And I think there's going to be a discussion and a debate, if you will, about which way to go forward. But I think that the good thing that I see going on our side is everyone's putting something on the table and saying, hey, I've got something to offer. I've got a better way going forward. And I think that is very healthy for the country to sit down and say, hey, wait a second, we got a group of people over on the other side of the table willing to at least put out proposals on how to move the country forward,
sure.
Whereas we continue to see Biden and Obama put more of the same on the table, saying, I think it'll probably work out differently.
Sean, take a listen to Z9, guys. We're going to play a little shot for you from Debbie Wasserman Schultz, your counterpart on the other side.
It's irresponsible for a political party to engage in that kind of negative demonization.
Well, that's one of the friendlier things she said about your side lately. Weigh in. What are they trying to do here?
I think she's talking about Occupy Wall Street, if I'm correct, right, Eric?
I don't know what she's talking about. It could be that. It could be the jobs. It could it could be the class warfare that they keep saying is going on so they can get their jobs bill passed. Who knows?
You're right. Thing is that they have one set of talking points, and it doesn't matter what the issue is. They use them over and over again, so it doesn't really matter what the issue is. So I'm really not sure. She could be talking about, right. who knows what she's talking about. But
one more, Sean.
Right.
Sean, hold on.
Roll it out.
Take a listen to this one. Z10. Here's another one. This, I guess, comes from your camp. Take a listen.
If the Republicans don't pass this bill, then rape will continue to rise.
Murder will continue to rise. Rape will continue to rise. All crimes will continue to rise. Murder will continue to rise. Rape will continue to rise. All crimes will continue to rise.
Do you think it's appropriate for the Vice President to use language in such a way?
Okay, we gotta go.
Mr. Vice President.
Excuse me. So, Sean, we have the gentleman here, Jason, who actually was the interviewer right there. You're using it for the ad. Pretty effective stuff. Where are they? What's going on there?
Well, I think, as Jason pointed out, there's an absurdity to the level to which they'll go to scare folks into trying to buy into this jobs thing. But then, as you pointed out earlier, Eric, you guys did your fact check, and I know you're going to be talking about it later in the show, but it's just flat wrong. So I'm not sure whether to attack it for being absurd and over the top or patently false. But, what we've gotten to this point is they pass out, stimulus one failed. We saw Solyndra. Today we had a story about a company in Finland getting $500 million.
Hey, Sean, I have to ask you about that. I have to ask you about this. This story has been around for years. We've been doing this story, the Fisker story and the Tesla Motors story, half a billion dollars each of government loans for two different car companies. I've been talking about for literally 2 years. What happened yesterday that all of a sudden this story is on every single show that I watch, across the river as well?
I think sometimes you're just way ahead of the curve, Eric. We've known that for a long time. But I think your persistency in saying these kind of stuff finally gets folks to take notice and say, you know what, there might be something there. Because I think part of the problem, Eric, The average person goes, there's no way that could be true. We didn't really spend $500 million giving it to a company in Finland. And finally, somebody, did a Google search and went, you know what, that Eric Bolling is actually onto it.
We did it. We did it a long time ago. We did it when Tesla Motors was before Fisker. Tesla was on the West Coast. Elon Musk, who was in a bunch of different industries, decided he was going to start a $100,000 electric car he was going to build. And we thought that was a good idea back then.
The funny thing is, all we had to do was take the president's own word on it. He joked about the fact that Stimulus 1 wasn't shovel-ready, and he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we're seeing the evidence of it, and somehow
it's shovel-ready.
folks are shocked.
It's shovel-ready. We should dig a hole, stick it in, and put the dirt back on it. Sean, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much.